All right, so now we have everything cut out in our selections. Everything's lined up. Everything looks good. Let's just refine it a little bit more, touch it up. And to do that, I'm going to blend this hard edge. So the bottom part of the face belongs to my torso layer, and the top part of the face belongs to the head. And I could just use my lasso, which gives me hard edge selections. And I could give it more of a shape like that, and then delete. But it still looks a little strangely crisp, right? So another option we have, I'll go back in my history, is we can use our eraser tool. And we can set our eraser a little differently than we can set our lasso. So a different size and a different hardness. So a low hardness means that it's very soft edged. And then at the opacity, we can set a different opacity. So 100% will erase everything, but with a very soft blended edge. Like so. So that the top of the face kind of blends in without a seam to the bottom of the face. And I can even do it at a lower opacity and kind of let both photos show a little bit to blend those together. And that's how you would do kind of the cover of a Vanity Fair and take one photo. You like the arm in one position, but the shoulder in another exposure, and you blend them together seamlessly. Okay, now we've done all of that, and we've played with the figures a little bit, but we haven't processed the background at all. And the nice way of separating out with a clean plate is that the background is separate, and we can process that separately. So we can make it lighter or darker. We can improve the exposure. We can give it, more definition, more color, less color. I can go away from just the level adjustments and go to the color balance, the temperature of the light. And we shot outdoors, which is great, gave us full spectrum light, sunlight, but maybe we want to prioritize it a slightly different way. In the midtones, in the highlights. And we'll be playing with all of these things later. And in the shadows. So usually when I'm optimizing a photo, I'll push my highlights one way. So for instance, towards cyan and blues. And I'll push my shadows in the opposite way, towards reds and yellows. Now let's see what difference that makes. This is just the background. But by playing with that background, it really helps the figure stand out a little bit more.
How do you change the highlights and stuff?
You go up to Image Adjustment, and for just the shadows and the levels, you do that in that first portion, levels. Our first two assignments will really get into this a lot. And then to play with color, you go down to this next grouping of adjustments, and the one I use a lot is color balance to shift the temperature of the light. Okay, now I have a figure here, but I don't like this little thing in the corner. So I'm going to crop my image to be a little bit more focused, not have so many distractions. Maybe crop it like this. And this will give me what are called third lines, which will be helpful in determining compositions later. And maybe I want to show a little bit more of the ground to really show how high the leap is. But I still want it to look like a regular photo in its aspect ratio, in its height and width. So then I crop, and then that's my photo. I'm going to save it, and that will be my PSD version. And then I need to make an online version to put up to the class photo bucket. So now I say File, Save As, and I will save it with the same name, but as a JPEG format. And that will automatically give it a postscript of JPG. You should never write in your own postscript. Let the computer do that. To the desktop as a JPEG. It does not support layers, so that will flatten it all into one image that can be put online. And I want the quality to be between 10 and 12.
And we're saving it on desktop?
Onto the desktop, always to the desktop. And when we save our JPEGs to put onto PhotoBucket, sometimes they'll be really big photos, sometimes they'll be little. We never want them to be much more than 5 megabytes. So that's where we use this quality setting. So even at the maximum quality, it's still under 5 megabytes, so it's fine. So I say okay, I can close it, I can hit F11 and find all my files here. I'm going to mark my JPEG files with an orange color because that's my online format. So we'll get used to that. And now I'm going to open up Firefox, go to the Jumping Exquisite Corpse album in the course PhotoBucket, and I'm going to upload right from the desktop the orange JPEG with my name as my assignment. And that's how we turn it in. And this will be the first exercise you submit that you get points for. Okay? So I've put it in. Now I need to make sure I title it. And you always title it with your name. And then you're done.
What's the username and password?
So to log in to PhotoBucket, we'll get used to it and you'll just remember it. All the information is in the Canvas page. So if you log into Canvas and then go to your courses and then click on photography under our semester, as long as you have your pop-ups turned off, the Canvas page will open up. And then for our semester, you'll find that information under links. So PhotoBucket, and then that's our username for the semester, and that's our password. So when you go into PhotoBucket, you want to make sure that it's the right one. So you're going to log in. So I'll show you how to log in here. And you log in with nlcartslabphoto@gmail.com. And we got to use that new updated password. And you can just copy and paste it from the links page. And it should remember you for next time. This is our icon. So as long as you see that, the Iron Man tugboat, then you're in the right place. And then you navigate to library, and you use these left-hand columns to navigate to the right folder. This is how we'll submit our work. And each folder also has past student examples and sometimes even has instructor demonstrations as part of it. So far we've done 2 exercises. We uploaded our double exposures, and now the first one we'll get graded for, the Jumping Exquisite Corpse.
And so that's where we'll find the video instructor demonstration.
So I am recording these. There's an old video of this process right there.
Okay.
But the problem is the memory is limited. So new videos I am going to put into a YouTube page. And we have a YouTube channel. Let's see if I can get to it. I have to add the new videos we're making. And I will put those on the links page. Good old Hotmail or Gmail. Let's see. And this is very meta because I'm making a video of putting up the video. And this is a new experience for me. Let's see. My channel. Here we go. I want to create a playlist. And this first playlist is going to be called SP15 for Spring 15, photo. I'll just do full photography, exercise, jumping exquisite corpse. Then I'll put all the videos in a chain in this playlist.
Yeah, where's our? Where's our stuff for
All right, so I'll come around and see how you guys are doing with that. Once you have the JPEG and the PSD saved and you're able to open it into PhotoBucket, then you can close Photoshop. And then we'll organize these files into our Documents folder. Okay, so as those videos are uploading, we want to organize our desktop. And these are the files that matter the most, right? This is where we put everything together, our working format and our online format. And that's why we titled them with our name. But these are the photos that we built from. So we want to put all of these into a new folder that we call our Jumping Exquisite Corpse exercise. Or you can just call it a jumping exercise or shutter speed exercise. And then select all those photos, drag them into that folder, and now this folder needs to go into your Documents folder. And these were the low light demos I did last class. You know, indoors and the composite there. This is going to be the full sunlight. And you saw what better exposures we were able to get with more light. But the problem with natural light is you can't control it. So that's why we have to get the most out of our cameras. It's completely up to you to organize your own Documents folder, but the idea is when we get to the midterm and we want to find things to print, you want to be able to find your working file formats because those are the ones that we're going to output our prints from. And so that's why I marked them with the green.
Wait, where are the one? Sorry, I was trying to do it first.
So everything within our photo documents, it's just up to you to organize so that you're able to find your stuff later. So you can make as many folders or as few folders as you think are necessary. But what I would definitely do is at least have one folder that's for your exercises, these quick pass-fail things, and one folder that's for your assignments. And we're going to introduce our first assignment shortly here. And the assignments are what we're going to be printing from for our midterm and final portfolios. Exercises are just to introduce us to ideas. Okay. And then everything is safe. So that's going to finish that up.